um, by way of vow offerings, votive offerings. But there are certain things that cannot be offered. And that's how this chapter wraps up. Starting at verse 26. However, a firstborn among animals, which is as a firstborn, belongs to the Lord. No man may consecrate it, whether ox or sheep, it is the Lord's. But if it is among the unclean animals, then he shall redeem it according to your valuation, and add to it 1/5 of it. And if it is not redeemed, then it shall be sold according to your valuation. Nevertheless, anything which a man sets apart to the Lord out of all that he has, of man or animal, or of the fields of his own property, shall not be sold or redeemed. Any devoted to destruction is most holy to the Lord. No one who may have been set apart among men shall be ransomed. He shall surely be put to death. Thus all the tithe of the land, of the seed of the land, or of the fruit of the tree, is the Lord's. It is holy to the Lord. If therefore a man wishes to redeem part of his tithe, he shall add to it 1/5 of it. For every 10th part of herd or flock, whatever passes under the rod, the 10th one shall be holy to the Lord. He is not to be concerned whether it is good or bad, nor shall he exchange it. Or if he does exchange it, then both it and its substitute shall become holy. It shall not be redeemed. Okay, so this is talking about things that cannot be offered concerning the votive gifts. And among those were the firstborn animals. Why were the firstborn animals not allowed to be dedicated? I think we talked about this a little bit last week.
They already belong to
That's exactly right. And of course, this was something that God had put in place back all the way when we discussed it in Exodus chapter 13. That's correct. Thank you. So how do you think this might challenge our thinking about giving to God what is already His? Well, how do you think that this might change the way we think about giving to God the things that already belong to Him? Or does it?
Well, it should.
Me, Mom?
Well, back in that day, tithes set aside,
That's exactly right.
and they were not to mess with that.
That's right. That's right. So we also talked about the laws about redeeming unclean animals in verse 27. What is that? The law concerning redeeming unclean animals. What is the law about redemption of those animals? Remember, we had talked about votive offerings that were too difficult for a man to keep. Even though those things may have been difficult, that individual has a responsibility in order to keep his vows. But God adds in His law some provision concerning those things.
No, he
But-
adds a tax to it.
What's that?
He adds a tax to it.
That's right. How much?
20%.
20%. 20%. So what is the key principle there? What does this teach us about substitution in worship?
Well, it's going to cost you.
That's right.
And you better be able to afford the cost.
Yeah, that's right. It still requires sacrifice.
Correct.
It still requires
Additional.
accountability.
Yeah, additional.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So we've also talked about in these verses here things that are set apart, things devoted to destruction, being most holy to the Lord. It says, no one who have been set apart among men shall be ransomed. He shall surely be put to death. That is one of these passages that are kind of difficult to understand here. But if you consider the things that are devoted to destruction, things that are offered to the Lord, that are set apart to be destroyed, what comes to mind when you start thinking about that? Either material things or even people. You know, the first thing that came to my mind was the Amalekites. You know what God had determined concerning what was going to happen with the Amalekites, what all of the things and the material things that were considered during the destruction of Jericho, right? Remember there was an individual named Achan, right? during this battle, which the Israelites were victorious, remember what happened with there was a certain individual named Achan, and he committed a great sin that ultimately cost a lot of lives among the Israelites. What did he do?
This was in Exodus?
Huh?
He took some.
This was in Judges,
Oh, in Judges. Oh.
or not in Judges, not in Judges.
Genesis. He took clothes.
It was Joshua. What was that?
He took clothes and gold.
That's
and
right.
hid under his tent.
That's right.
And then he hid them.
And then he hid him away. And why was that such a big problem? Because these were things, these were items that were under a ban. It's the Jewish word harem. These are the sort of things that are being discussed here. Concerning the sin of Saul, not Solomon, the sin of Saul. Remember when he was to destroy the Amalekites, what did he do instead?
Oh, that's right, he saved the best of the best.
And
He performed a sacrifice when he was supposed to wait for something.
okay,
But,
what he saved the best for sacrifice, and he spared
oh, the king.
he
That's
spared the king, right?
Thank you.
These were things that were devoted to destruction. These sort of things that are under a ban. Just put this under things that God says you are not to keep. These things are set aside for destruction. You're not to redeem these things. This is the law concerning those items.
What God condemns, we must not uncondemn.
Yeah, right. Right, and the point here is that some things, certain things, once it's set apart for God, it's not ours to take back. Certainly the things that God says specifically, you cannot take these things. In here we also talked about tithing. What was the purpose of tithing? What was the purpose of tithing from the land and the flocks? Verses 30 and 32. Through 32.
So that went for the priests and the temple and.
Yeah. I mean, you can consider Numbers chapter 18. And what was the tithe? This is supposed to be done by the Israelites every year.
Right.
What is that?
What was it, 1/10?
Yes, the tenth of what?
Of whatever they were, whether it was land, animals.
Animals.
grain, whatever. They were
Right.
offering.
There's a certain portion every year that is to be set aside. Now, we have to keep in mind that concerning the tithe, this was a law that was set aside for whom? The Israelites. Is this a law set aside for Christians today?
No.
No. These tithes would go to the priesthood. Now, I know there are a lot of denominations today that preach that Christians even today need to tithe. You got to set aside your 10%. But the only place that talks about tithes in the New Testament, I believe, is Hebrews chapter 7. But what does it tell us concerning those tithes? Where do they go? The priesthood, right? Where is, if Christians were to tithe today, where is the priesthood for the tithes to go to? Right?
Right.
We are the priesthood today, right? So and I think that's important, and we may get to it in the future, but concerning it's a tithe that is done by the Israelites, and it was done annually. It wasn't done something that was done weekly. It was done annually. And moreover, and I think that this is a point that a lot of people miss, and again, we'll get to it when we get into Numbers. The annual tithe wasn't the only tithe that the Israelites participated in. It wasn't the only tithe put on them. There was an annual tithe, and then every third and sixth year, there was another tithe put on that for the poor. So it was like a tithe on top of a tithe. So if we're going to go back to the Old Testament system, as far to regulate Christian giving, let me tell you this: it's going to be a whole lot more than 10%.
Right.
And this is something that we're going to consider. Yes.
So what were the burnt offerings and the sin offerings?
Yes, and all that too.
Yeah, what were they called? They were just pulled out from the flock or anybody who sinned or whoever wants to give a burnt offering, but then there's a tithe where you give
Yes.
once a year.
Yes, but remember the burnt offerings was offerings for atonement,
Right.
atonement for sin.
Correct.
The tithe system is something different. Concerning the burnt offerings, the best of the best was offered by the people. Now, concerning the tithe system, what do we see? When it comes to the animals and the flocks and the fruit of the land and all that kind of stuff.
Whatever.
It said every animal that passes under the rod. I think we talked about this last week. If you think about a shepherd counting his sheep, as it's going under the rod, every 10th one, and he's not to consider whether it is good or bad.
Correct. It's
Just set it aside. That's the tithe system. Why was strict impartiality commanded in selecting tithes from the flock?
Why is what?
Strict impartiality.
Man will
God's prohibition. In what it is that you pick and choose to come out of the tithe. You're not to consider whether good or bad.
Yeah,
What was
correct.
that?
They're not pick or choose whether it's good or bad, yeah.
man will tend to pick what's best for him.
That's right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. God requires truthfulness in our giving. Truthfulness. What? Remember what happened in Acts chapter 5 concerning Ananias and Sapphira. That's right. God requires truthfulness, and He requires honesty in our giving. And the tithe system is not to be manipulated for our gain. This is what people tend to do. Let's wrap up verse 34. These are the commandments which the Lord commanded Moses for the sons of Israel at Mount Sinai. So what do you think is the significance of that statement? These are the commandments which the Lord commanded Moses for the sons of Israel at Mount Sinai.
It was to tell them how to live in the new land.
Yeah.
The Israelites, how to live, and also how to reimburse the priests.
Yeah. And moreover, everything that they do is rooted in these divine commandments. The way that they live their lives, the way that they worship, the way that they even eat their food, clean their homes.
What they
All of these things are rooted in God's commandments, in God's laws.
Perhaps they were so detailed as to keep the Israelites away from going back to the kind of worship they just left and the worship they were going into.
Yeah. All right. Any other? Yes, sir.
Coming from God, there was no room for reinterpretation. This is it. You can't. It's not made by men, where another man can come back and change the rules or whatever. It's God, so it's set in stone.
Moreover, it's not made by Moses either.
No.
What was Moses' important role concerning all of
He was
this?
the messenger.
He was the
Yeah.
he was the mediator.
He was the mediator.
He was, yeah. All right, so that's going to wrap up. I mentioned last week. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot to study.
No,
I
I
have
didn't.
no question.
The question is, can we put it off until next week?
No, I haven't.
No. Look. This is a quiz. It's not a test. It's a review.
Review, thank you.
It is a review.
It's a test.
of the entirety of the book of Leviticus. Now that we wrapped it up, it's an open book.
A
Okay.
review test.
It is a review. It is open book. Is there anybody that doesn't have a pen? That needs a pen? Okay, I printed off 20. I think I got enough for everybody. It is multiple choice. Most of these you're going to look at them and say, "Oh yeah, I know the answer."
But
I would recommend putting your finger on the Bible. And
I told you.
there are so many times. There are so many times that I have taken a test when I have been so sure about an answer and I was completely wrong.
that you missed it.
And I missed it.
For sure.
I told Miss Katie, I feel like I'm in high school again. I was all nervous. I was been rereading for days.
Even as a teacher, you can expect it.
Exactly. And I said,
I
man,
had
these
mine.
questions are gonna.
I had mine from last night.
I was nervous.
We're gonna share it.
Okay. Did we write our names on it? On today's date?
Yes, we want gold stars and big A's on the top of it.
All right, and like I said, we're not going to be trading
Okay.
trading quizzes. We're not going to be grading each other's work. This is just for you. This serves as a review for our Leviticus study. Wendy asked a question. Why are we doing this as a class? Why don't we just take it home? This seems kind of weird. It seems kind of awkward. I am in school, and I know what it's like when somebody gives me a take-home test or a take-home quiz. What that's going to do? It's just going to go be stuck somewhere, and I'm going to wait until the last minute to do it. This way, we're all going to do it. And it's not going to be a situation where we're going to show up next week and, oh, I forgot I was supposed to do that. Jack says he loves tests. He doesn't get enough. He doesn't get enough testing. And if anybody didn't hear, it is an open Bible quiz. Four questions per chapter.
Are we gonna go over the answers after?
What's that?
Are we gonna go over the answers after?
Yeah. Probably not today. There's like 108 questions on this test. Oh, on this review. Review, right? Jessica?
Quiz.
Huh?
It's a study quiz.
Study quiz. There you go.
Their curve,
Huh?
they're gonna be a curve on it.
I would say yeah. There's going to be a curve, but I know Jack Hester is going to break the curve, so we might as well just.
I like the encouragement. You can do it.
You can do it.
Thank you.
These are hard questions.
I didn't want you to blow through it. It has been, it's been over a year, I believe, since we started
You
reviewing
really
this.
need to
So,
start at the back of the test.
huh?
You gotta start at the end of the test, when it's fresh.
Right, by the time I get to 108, I'm gonna forget.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to add something to the quiz.
Oh, gosh.
And Katie's gonna answer it. The
The
five,
5,
the 5
we got it.
sacrifices, 5 offerings.
Right, there's burnt, sin, peace, guilt, grain.
And great, yes!
Very good.
Okay, so you're other we all get one
So
first.
that means I don't have to answer the rest of it.
Yeah, you said it.
Yeah.
I think Wendy's right, though. Anybody tuning in to the online Bible study is probably thinking, what is going on?
Their audio's not working, his lips aren't moving.
That's a long prayer.
When they think someone's making a comment and not stopping.
Right.
check the check.
All right, I think we're gonna have to quit for the day. How far did everybody get?
Chapter 9.
It's a chapter 50.
I'm on chapter 11.
Yeah,
Well, starting chapter 12. I know.
Okay, well, if you would take it home,
Okay.
it's an open book, so, you know, this is not going to count against your final grade. None of that. It's not going on your transcripts.
Can I get
But-
that for forgiving?
But we will go over them next week. So if you would, yeah, I'd like to find out, you know, how everybody did. And hopefully you going through these questions just jogs your memory. Just on all of the things that we have, we've studied over the year. I know it's so easy to forget. It's hard for me to remember things that we covered last week, let alone things last year. All right, well, we'll just look forward to going